I think every artist is always, there's going to be one thing on the record that they're, you know, you get perfection, you get that kind of perfectionist nag in your brain going, oh, I could have done that like this or whatever. But I don't think no artist is ever going to listen to every millisecond of their record and go, yes, I'm totally happy with all of it. There's always going to be things that you think you could improve or whatever, but I think that's completely natural. I think it came a lot from my dad, who was very into music from a young age and taught himself the guitar when he was in his sort of young teens, and just, I guess, wanted to give me the same pleasure as a young person growing up, being able to play the guitar and stuff like that. And he introduced me to a lot of the music that he grew up on, like Buddy Holly and Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and you know, then the other folk stuff as well, like Nick Drake and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Joni Mitchell and Carole King and all of that kind of stuff. So that was a big part of my childhood. Me and Ben met through an old friend of his called Jason Bacon, who I met at a New Year's Eve party in Brixton, where I live, about 5 years ago. We met. I met this guy Jason. He heard me singing in the manager's office of this club, and he called Ben and said, you should really check this out. And then I called Ben and I met Ben and just started working together. I don't think either of us realised, you know, what lay ahead or whether it would definitely work or not. I think Ben probably had a better idea of that than I did, because I was just sort of like, let's see what happens. But I think he probably saw a lot more potential in it than I did. Yeah, most of them were. There's only a couple of songs that weren't. Bulletproof wasn't. I'm Not Your Toy wasn't. Although a lot of the melody came from an old song that I had written on guitar, so I guess you could say that was too. And Cover My Eyes, and I think they were the only ones that weren't written on guitar. The rest of the record was written on guitar. Or piano, really, just on its own. I think it is generally, not always, but I think most of the time it is better to write and start on a natural instrument where all you have is the melody and the song, and you're not distracted by production or beats or anything like that, or sounds. We always like to get into that later when the core of the song is there. I think without, you know, you can have as many great sounds as you like, but essentially without a structure and without an emotional kind of motivation to a song, you end up with just dance music, I guess, which is what we wanted an element of, but we wanted, you know, that crossover dance and pop music. So we always start with the raw cause of a song, which is the melody and the structure and the lyrics. I think there was a couple of moments. I think Bulletproof, when we wrote that, there was a really exciting atmosphere in the, I was going to say studio, but living room would be more appropriate. There was definitely an exciting atmosphere in the living room that day. And I remember when we first played that track, I think the first person we ever played it to was Tony Beard, who's our manager now. He came to have a meeting with us, and we'd never met him before, and we said, look, we just wrote this like 2 days ago, and we think this could be our kind of breaking track. Bulletproof is just that age-old emotion of wanting to, I guess, rectify a flaw in yourself, maybe a weak side of you that keeps letting yourself be used. I don't mean sexually, obviously, but just letting yourself be treated badly by whoever or whatever. And it happened that one time too many, and you just got too frustrated, and that happened to me last summer, and that's where Bulletproof came from. It's just like, oh God, not again. And then just telling yourself that you won't let yourself be treated badly again. And that's it, really. But I think it's just worked so well because it's such a broad term. This time I'll be bulletproof. It doesn't necessarily refer to anything or anyone. And, you know, that's why people have related to it really well. And you get messages on MySpace saying, oh, I was going to quit my job and this song really helped me, or I was going to you know, break up with my girlfriend, and this song really helped me. Not that that's necessarily a nice thing for us to help people to do, but you know, I think that's why it's worked so well, because it's so broad.